2 touch, yeah, we're locked in. I got the skills to make the girls sing, and the geezers too, yeah, we're doing this thing.
Hello and welcome to episode 26 of One Game at a Time. I am Seb O'Neill, joined as always by, two this week only, of my regular co-host Mark Talbot. Mark, if you had to listen to one Beatles song for the rest of your life, what song would it be?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. Put me on the spot, mate. How are you anyway?
That doesn't matter. I asked you a question.
That was trying to get me out of answering it. I don't know, actually. I do not know. Too many good ones to pick one.
All right.
So I'm not. I just couldn't come up with one. Not just one. Too many.
I'll move on to David Grant. David, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. What were you up to?
I was doing a Rubik's Cube.
Reason being?
It's quite a long intro, isn't it? So I was just killing time.
David, if you had to listen to one Beatles song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It would be, for me, it would probably be A Day in the Life. That's always been a bit of a favourite.
See, Mark, that's how you do it. You just answer the question, it's over and done with. Surely you've got one by now. Oh.
In Mark's defence, it is hard to think of something up on the spot like that. They do have, they have got more than one hit single, so it would be hard for them.
Really?
Yeah, that's the problem. I was raised on the Beatles by my father, and it's like, well, there's just too many good songs. I just can't pick one.
Okay, well, that is a question that
one of their best ever songs. I think David would love this one, but one of their best songs was surely "Yellow Submarine."
I would laugh at that.
That's a decent pick.
No, it's not my favorite. No.
I will give you to the end of this episode, and I will demand an answer right at the end. That is your overarching question.
Can I have a second one?
Oh yeah, if you want a second one, sure.
For the show.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. That's number 2.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice. God, David's got 2, Mark.
I like Help as well.
3. Oh,
so look, that's what I'm saying. Too many to name.
Well, after that start, we'll move on to, as we always do, with our picks of the week now. The keen-eyed amongst you have noticed Alessio is not here, but he has sent in his own video for his pick of the week. Shall we have a look, lads?
Well, this could be interesting. Could be anything.
Let's have a look.
Hi.
Hey guys, so sorry I can't be there tonight and filming the podcast, but I got a good story from the weekend for you guys. So obviously we played Pontian, and yes, sir, we didn't lose by 9 this time, but it was a closer game, and it was our captain's 300th as well. So I was glad to see that he got on the score sheet and equalised to make it 1-1, and then a sloppy goal for them to get a second, and then they won it right at the end. But the interesting story was, while I was warming up on the sidelines there at Mount Barker, there's like a little hill that goes down next to behind the benches, and warming up, and I see this figure come up from the hill and go, "Oh, Alessio, I'm a big fan." And I was like, "What the hell? What is that?" And, who was that? And then he goes, "Oh yeah, I listened to the podcast." I'm like, "Oh yeah, good, cheers." And while he kept explaining to me, at that moment, our coach goes, "Les, on you come, get ready." So I ran on. I was like, I don't know who that guy was and whatever, but apparently he was a fan. Same thing happened after the game as well. I think it was one of their assistant coaches at Pontian. He was like, I love your podcast, watch every week. And I was like, yeah, I did give you guys the win this week. The first time I have this season. And he goes, and it was 3-1 as well. So obviously he knows my predictions are pretty good as well. But yeah, I just thought I'd shout those 2 Pontian fans and coaches out on the podcast about, that they really enjoy it. So if they're listening at home now, good luck for the last game of the season, and hopefully you guys get promoted.
See, David, we do have more than 2 fans. Thank you very much.
Do you know, the second part to that is that he'd arranged to meet those men in a park tonight, and that's why he's not here.
Well, I was going to say, he's filming that just in the middle of the road.
Alessio can't be with you tonight because he's arranged to meet two men from Pontian. So he was whispering and looking around as well, wasn't he?
I was going to say, out of all the places to film that, why in the middle of a road? Well, thank you, Alessio. That's very good to hear. If you are one of those two people from Ponty and listening, hello. Yes, that's all I have to say. Other than that, I guess Alessio's, you know, in the road somewhere. I don't know.
And he's famous.
Yeah, he's famous apparently. Yeah,
He's famous.
look at that. David, we'll move on
Yeah.
to you. What is your pick for the week?
Seemed to be a bit of a birthdays week this week, and on Friday night I was along to call the game, the WNPL game at Sturt between Sturt and Metro United. It was a game that Metro United won 2-1, and I went into the club rooms after because my old pal John van der Vieken had promised me beer, and I wasn't going to let him down. But when I got in there, it was actually Frank Capaldi's 50th birthday party celebrations, and I inadvertently gate crashed his party. So there was cake, there was champagne, there was a few tunes as well. So thanks very much for
Karaoke?
the cake and the champagne. There wasn't karaoke, but if there had been, I would have been straight up there with A Day in the Life, or Help, or Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Would have you done a bit of Billy Ocean Caribbean Sunrise, David?
Oh, that is my favourite. Eduardo, take me back. So that was Friday night, and then on Saturday afternoon, I was along at Croydon to call Croydon and the Comets, and in the car park, I could hear one of the Comets players being ribbed by his teammates as it was his birthday. It turned out it was Lachlan Steed's 22nd birthday, and so I asked a few questions of his comrades as to what kind of hobbies and interests he had, and they all in unison replied that Justin Bieber was his favourite, and so I promised him I would mention Justin Bieber during commentary. And Seb, have you got that reel and you can play that reel just now, or
So yeah, Lachlan Steed, Adelaide Comets player, is 22 today. It's his birthday. Big Justin Bieber fan. He loves the song "Baby," and that should be mine. Cold Water, Where Are You Now, of course. Mega smash hit. Lachlan loves them all. Love Yourself, What Do You Mean? And I Don't Care, the duet with Ed Sheeran. So on behalf of the FSA media team, Lachlan, happy birthday. And after this, you will go home and listen to a few Justin Bieber albums and have a quiet night in.
I reckon two of those song titles, what people were asking to themselves at home. What do you mean? And I don't care.
You know, there is a chance that the Comets players who were giving me the impression that they were mocking Lachlan were in fact mocking me, and it wasn't Lachlan's birthday at all. There's always that chance that crossed my mind too. So if it wasn't his birthday, then they've done me up like a kipper.
I think it probably was his birthday, but they ribbed you on the Justin Bieber part and just made that up.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Because when I used to play, we used to write other players' profiles for them. Do you know when you used to get a player profile in the Matchday magazine? Yeah. We used to write it for other players, and we used to make it all up. So they might have done him wrong there.
Well, maybe if Comets could write a wee note into the show or contact Seb or one game at a time or whatever, and just confirm: A, was it his birthday? B, does he like Justin Bieber? And then we can all sleep easy.
Breaking news for next week, that one.
Yeah. Absolutely. On to next. I'll go next. We had more Australia Cup action last night with our own Modbury Jets involved. It was a great game. It was a very thoroughly entertaining game. But unfortunately, Modbury couldn't get over the line in the end, losing on penalties. Both of you watched this game as well. An early goal from that man who just seems to be in fine form this season, Francesco Scamizzi. I guess, what did you guys think of it as a whole? Because I thought Modbury, especially for me particularly, this man right now, Hamish McKay, was probably man of the match across the entire game, to completely honest. What did you guys think of the game?
Do you want me to go first, David?
Why not?
Look, as a whole, I thought the game was excellent to watch. From a neutral, it was end to end. Both teams had chances. I mean, you saw the stats. I don't know if people saw the stats and that, but the XG was just under 1 for Modbury and just over 1 for Melbourne Serbia. But as a whole, the game was fantastic to watch. And I think that, both teams had chances, as we see there. That was just before halftime. It was just, a really good game to watch. Both keepers, I tell you what, if it wasn't for the two keepers, the game could have finished 5-4 easily. It was, they were both excellent at times. Both teams had their moments as well. It wasn't a game that was all one way or it was just a really good game in the fact that both teams had their opportunities, had their chances on top of the game and played to that. And like 1 minute would be Modbury for 10 minutes where they couldn't get out of their box. And then Melbourne Serbia they were pinned back for 15 minutes. And the whole game was just like that. And that's one of the fantastic saves that Neil made on the night. I mean, that was a double save. It was just incredible. But, look, it was a great game to watch, and I really feel for Modbury because I thought Trimboli had a really good chance, I think it was in the 75th, 80th minute to put one away, and unfortunately he fluffed his lines. And then in the end, it was just Melbourne Serbia were just critical with their penalties. And I don't want to say this, but the player that I would have backed to the hilt that's the first penalty I've ever seen him miss. Yeah. The first, and I've seen him take a lot of penalties. But for me, I thought
was it you or Alessio that said something along the lines of not that he was a penalty merchant, but that a lot of his goals were. I can't remember if it was you or Alessio.
I didn't. It wasn't me, but he takes all the penalties because he's so good at penalty taking. But I said I think that's the first one I've ever seen him miss. But Hamish was a real thorn in their side all night. And he didn't deserve to miss his penalty either, just on his performance.
He didn't deserve to lose, really.
No, not at all. He was, every time he got the ball, they just couldn't handle him. They didn't know what to do with him. He created the goal for Modbury, created multiple chances. And like I said, I just really feel, I mean, to be honest, I'd feel for either team because neither team deserved to lose that game. Neither team deserved to be out. Like they were both excellent. So I do feel for Modbury, and hopefully they can transfer that into the rest of their season and finals now.
Well, that's the thing. I'll move on to you next, David. Of course, they were saying it in commentary as well. They've got a huge game on Friday night as well. Yeah. And now after playing extra time and penalties, they've got to back it up with a massive performance against Campbelltown as long as other results go their way.
Yeah, obviously a big ask, given that they've just played 120 minutes of football and then they've gone through penalties. They've also got the travel, and there'll also be the mental tiredness, I would say, after a round like that. I would just echo what Mark said about the game. It was good to watch. I didn't catch the first 45, but caught the second 45 in extra time and penalties, and I just thought, yeah, they were desperate unlucky, but very evenly matched. And I think you're right. I think, at the end of the day, it would have been great if both sides could have gone through, but unfortunately that's not in the rule book for Australia Cup, is it? So Friday night, I guess they just have to reset and focus on that now. I mean, I guess you could argue that the pressure's off a little bit, and that because it's a final series, their season's not over. They can lose on Friday night and they're still playing finals football, but that's, I would expect, not the way that they're approaching it. They'll still want to win, but I guess there's a little bit of a safety net there for them in that respect.
Absolutely. Mark, no, what? Who's next? Mark, it is you. You're next. What do you have?
There's only two of us there.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say, my pick of the week is the South Adelaide pitch, as we all know, that got locked down a couple of weeks ago. And they were unable to play on it. But I have heard that works were started today and they'll continue tomorrow to be ready for Friday night. So they'll be able to play their last game of the season in the NPL this year at home. So that is some good news. The council have jumped on board and got getting the works done as quickly as they can. It was funny. I was actually chatting with someone the other day. They were talking about the pitch, and the council were going to put the black rubber on the pitch. They had to actually speak with the guys that had put the pitch down, and were like, no, this had to get a letter from them to say, no, it needs to be done this way and stuff like that. So that was a little bit of a worry, but they've got the right products now, and they'll have that all done by tomorrow afternoon, if not Friday morning, I'm guessing, but they'll be able to play their last game back at O'Sullivan's Beach. So it's good news for
So
the club.
that's contractors working for council who are able to do a landscaping job in 24 hours. Is that correct?
Yeah,
That's impressive.
there's a lot of there's a lot of things going on behind it as to why, and obviously it all stemmed from the Metro game and what happened there as well. So I think they were too concerned with the outcomes if it didn't get done.
Yeah, because I've got a council strip at the front of my house that I've been waiting for the council
luck.
to do a little bit of work on for about 3 months. So if I could maybe just get...
Good luck. Mate, I'm still waiting for my bins to be... No, I'm only kidding. I'm still waiting for my bins to be collected, but no. No, like I said, I think the council actually took it over a while ago to actually do the maintenance, and they changed the person that was doing it, and I think it's just fallen off the wagon a little bit, well, obviously. So the council have gone, oh, we need to sort this out pretty quickly. So they've jumped on the wagon, and hopefully it'll be ready for Friday night.
Very, very good, Mark. On to the results from the past weekend, starting with State League 2. Noarlunga 6-2 over Port Adelaide. Adelaide Uni 3-0 over Adelaide Hills Hawks. Seaford losing 5-0 to Cove in that Southern Derby. Eastern 3-2 against Northern Demons. Mount Barker losing 3-1 to Pontian Eagles. And Modbury Vista 3-0 against bottom of the table Gawler Eagles. Who would like to go first?
I can start if you like.
Yeah.
All right. I'll start with the Cove Seaford game. Didn't see the game, but I did see a review of the game. Cove better side from start to finish. From everything I read, they scored when they scored 2 of their goals, or 4 of the goals came in quick succession, as in pairs. So they scored 22 and 29 minutes, and then 43, 53. So it's quite close goals. And Ollie Grant getting a hat-trick in that game. So, but Seaford, there wasn't a lot riding on the game in the fact that they could have possibly made finals, but I think it was also obviously with results going their way. But so that for them is this weekend for them now is against Northern Demons. Northern Demons are just going to be looking at it as trying to get confidence going into the final round. The other game that I'll talk about is Noarlunga and Port. Noarlunga, a big 6-2 win. Didn't expect to see that win. I did pick Noarlunga, but I didn't think it'd be as a heavier win as that. Like I said, Port just have really struggled this back end of the season, and you're just never sure what sort of team's going to show up. So hopefully in the off season now, we've still got 1 game to go, but hopefully Port can rebuild and move forward next year. But big win for Noarlunga there. Again, with the State League 2, we know that it's all been sorted for finals. So there's nothing to play for that around that 6th spot, as Eastern have taken the last spot with a massive win over Northern Demons, which secured their finals football for this year. Northern Demons made it look respectable with an 89th minute second goal, but Eastern United were pretty much on top for most of the game from all accounts. So that final with Eastern winning that finalised the finals or the top 6 teams. So I'll let David jump onto the other games if he wants, or I can keep going. It's completely up to you, David.
Well, the only one I was going to mention was the Eastern United Northern Demons game, because, as you mentioned, that's the one that kind of finalised that top 6. Hawks, my local team up here, or one of my local teams up here, they did lose 3-0 to Adelaide Uni. But after it, Daniel Hosking has announced his retirement from senior football, which is a bit of a end of an era. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Daniel.
I know Daniel, yes.
Yep, and he's been around the traps a long time. Great servant for the Hawks. He's played over 250 odd games, I think, for the Hawks up here. Played a little bit of NPL, I think, for South Adelaide a couple of years ago.
He did, yes.
Yeah, lovely guy, and so I just wanted to acknowledge his was going to say his passing. No, that's not the right word, is it? His passing of the baton, maybe. So Daniel's decided that he'll retire from senior football. So I just wanted to mention that while we were talking about State League 2. And just the main game, I suppose, that drew my attention was the Eastern United Northern Demons game, which has been the difference between for Eastern United getting into the finals. Had they not won that, they'd have another week to wait to try and get that spot. But nothing further to add.
Looking at the State League 2 table just before the final round, there's Pontian on top with 52 points. Uni can jump them as long as Pontian lose, and then Cove could also jump Uni if Uni lose, and then there's a big gap with Mowbray Vista behind and going towards the bottom. Gawler Eagles bottom, then Hills Hawks with 12 points, Mount Barker with 19, Port Adelaide with 22, Seaford with 25, Noarlunga with 26, and then Eastern and Northern Demons with both 30 and 35 respectively. Very, very
Just
good.
wanted to say quickly as well, David, just as you touched on Hoskins there, I was lucky enough to play against him more than a few times, and I tell you what, I hated playing against him. He's such a painful player to play against and a great left foot. So I'm right there with you. I just wanted to say a shout out to him and all the best in retirement and whatever he chooses. I hope he stays within the game somehow though, because he's a very valuable asset, especially for the Hills Hawks. He's been such a great servant. So hopefully he sticks around and is able to, I don't know, coach or get involved somewhere for them. So
yeah, he's a couple of generations after me, as you can imagine. But I've known him through the Hawks and also through coaching, and he's always been great with the kids, regardless of their age, their ability. He's treated them all in the same way. Always had great enthusiasm for the game and so on. And the only thing I'll say negatively about him is I've asked him to do commentary with me on a couple of occasions, and he's let me down. So Daniel, if you're listening, you're not entirely in my good books. You still got a ways to go to get into my good books.
On to the WSL. Elizabeth Grove 14-0 over Croydon. Cove playing out a close Southern derby 2-3 against South Adelaide. Mowbray 3-0 over Adelaide Jaguars. Fulham losing 7-0 to Campbelltown City, who are one game away from going invincible, Mark. And Western Strikers 2-2 with Mowbray Jets. What games caught your eyes there?
Obviously, the Southern Derby was one that always catches an eye when there's a team like the Cove and South playing, and it's a huge win for South over their local rival. So Benny's done well there with the Souths and getting them the result there. The other game, I think, for me that sort of stands out is the Western Strikers game, 2-2 with Mowbray Jets, because that would have if Mowbray had got the result they needed there, it would have closed that gap on Vista. So for me, that's a big 2 points lost there in their battle to win that second spot.
Absolutely, I definitely agree with you there, Mark. They play 18 games in this league, so they've only got 2 rounds to go, and Mowbray Vista now have a 4-point advantage because of that draw. So it's that's a massive drop for Jets, dropping points at Western Strikers. I'm sure they'll be very disappointed with that. They were actually 2-0 down at half time. That's Mowbray Jets were 2-0 down at half time. They scored 2 second-half goals, and they were late goals as well. So you could argue, I didn't see the game, but you could argue that Jets were maybe even a bit lucky to get the draw there.
Looking at the WSL table, Campbelltown 16 from 16, 48 points from 48th, an impeccable record there. Mowbray Vista in second on 36 points, gunning for that promotion playoff spot. And then Mowbray Jets behind them in third, with Elizabeth Grove in fourth, Jaguars in fifth, South in sixth, Western Strikers seventh, Cove eighth, Fulham ninth, and Croydon 10th. On to Men's State League 1. Adelaide Blue Eagles 3-2 over Adelaide Cobras. Victory playing out a 1-1 draw with Cumberland United. Sturt Lions 3-2 over Western Strikers. Fulham losing at home 2-0 to West Torrens Burkalla. Playford playing out a 3-3 draw with Salisbury United. And Vipers losing 3-0 to West Adelaide. What tickles your fancies here, lads?
Your turn to go first, David.
I prefer it when you lead it, Mark, if I'm honest. But
That's fine. I can go first if you like. It's fine. It's fine.
Be prepared to go first next, David.
It's all good. It's
what's
all
next?
good.
Oh, women's. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Look, one game that did stand out to me quite quickly was the Sturt game against Western Strikers. Yes, Sturt won 3-2, and we expected Sturt to win, but it wasn't as easy as what we anticipated. I mean, Sturt went 1-0 up, and then they actually went 2-1 down. So that's a bit of a fight back on their hands there to get out of that. And once they got that second goal by Duffy, then Ella Watt came through and scored very shortly after, which obviously won them the game in the end. But good finish here from Samed. And like I said, then Strikers went 2-1 up, and Sturt would have been thinking, okay, there's only 15 minutes to go here, and then they managed to come away with the 3-2 win. But they certainly wouldn't have been happy with conceding the 2 goals and going down 2-1. So that game caught my eye straight away. The Playford and Salisbury game, mate, 3-3. It's really given Berks the upper hand in the title for the minor premiership. As you can see there, Playford are playing in the red, white, and black shorts, which is a throwback to their former Elizabeth City Rams days. So the game was played as a memorial game for Seamus Marin, who was a friend of mine. He's actually was married to one of my cousins. Sound like Alessio there, who battled mental health for a long, long time. So they had a Legends game before this one. So it was in recognition of Seamus Marin. So beautiful, sort of a beautiful thing that Elizabeth, or Playford, should I say? I'm starting to say they're Elizabeth City beat now. Playford do there for that. And yeah, so great day out for all. Well, not for Playford, but great day in general, as they only got 1 point. But yeah, like I said, a fantastic game. I watched the highlights of this, and it was a really good game. And Hernandez, I can't say a bad word about him when he's playing. I tell you what a striker he's turning out at what he is, and he's helped Playford on numerous occasions this year. But yeah, look, the draw was not good for them. Salisbury, great result for them going into finals rounds. They were obviously pretty much, they were 1-0 down and then managed to go 2-1 up. So big result there for Salisbury. Does not help Playford at all in their bid for automatic promotion. So you never know what can happen in this league. We've said it multiple times. Anything can happen on any given day. And I think the other game I'll go on to is probably the Victory and Cumberland game. Cumberland sitting third at the moment. You would expect them to go in and win this game. Maybe they took it a little bit too easy with Victory being relegated. Hadn't won in 4 games at that stage by this stage. So maybe they took it a little bit easier. But coming away with a 1-1 draw. So good fight back from Victory to not capitulate. They come back out and manage to end up getting a draw. So they're going to end their season in not too bad a way with a draw against one of the top 3 sides. And they've got, or top 4 sides, should I say. They've got West Adelaide up next, who are going to be fighting for a final spot. So we'll see how they go, but and we'll see what happens with them in the off season, and they're going to be in a state of rebuild. So, but Cumberland, I know Terry won't be happy with the way they conceded, but that's just the way football is, and they'll have to get themselves back into some form going into the last last game ready for finals.
I'll just add quickly about West Adelaide's game. So they had a 3-0 win over Vipers, which was away from home, which moved them from 9th up to 7th on the ladder. From memory, that's 9th they were before it. Takes them up to 30 points, which is the same number of points as Salisbury, who are in 6th. Salisbury having drawn, as you were talking about before, Mark. But that means that West Adelaide, although they're 7th, are level on points with Salisbury. They're also only 2 points behind Sturt Lions, who are in 5th. So it puts West Adelaide this week play Adelaide Victory, who are bottom of the table and lacking a lot of, well, I guess maybe incentive or motivation at least. So if West Adelaide can get a win against Adelaide Victory this weekend, they could potentially end up 5th, having been 9th just last week. So a massive result that for West Adelaide. I think that was a real trial for them. And as long as they don't slip up against Victory, you could see them sneaking into that top 6 in the last game of the league season, the league's home and away season. So yeah, I just wanted to mention the West Adelaide game.
Look, I'll go back to it as well. Just you can't probably not talk about. I mean, we didn't talk about Campbelltown in the women's, but we kind of covered them a little bit. But we know that they're going to have won the league and possibly go undefeated. But Berks, we've got to talk about the team that's currently top now by 2 points. Come out with a good 2-0 win over a Fulham side that's probably not done as well as what we thought they might do. I know Alessio had high hopes, very high hopes for them this year, and they probably haven't lived up to his expectations. But Bacallo just such a strong side at the moment. They're in some good form. And then with the signing of Sakani, he's really added something else to them. Now he scored 2 goals again on the weekend. So yeah, like you can't not talk about Berks. I said they caught Playford in that massive win the other week to bring them level. They've now gone 2 points clear. So it's all for them on the weekend. So, and we'll cover obviously what they need to do and what happens in the league when we start talking about the preview for this upcoming round.
Salisbury United just took a little bit of shaky form, though, aren't they? I mean, they've only won 1 of their last 5, and they haven't won any of their last 3. 2 losses and a draw coming into finals. You know, it could all go pear-shaped for them just with the last game of the season.
It certainly can. I mean, and look at what happened with Sturt, how badly they started at the beginning of the year, and now they're. I mean, they were sitting 12th at one stage, I think it was, and then 11th. They're now sitting in the top 6. Yeah, for a good period, and then they had that really great run, and now they're sitting in 5th. And I mean, they still could lose their final spot if results go against them, but it's all in their hands. They have a worse goal
difference than West Adelaide too, as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's in their hands. They get the right result, they'll stay finals football. But yeah, it's fascinating. Like I said, the State League 1 is such a good league because you just never know what's going to happen. Once you're in it, it's hard to get out. If you've dropped down, it's hard to get back up straight away. And if you get into it, it's hard to stay in when you move up. So it's such a good league.
Looking at the table as we head into the final round, West Torrens Burkalla on top with 43 points, with Playford just behind on 41. Blue Eagles in 3rd with 38. Cumberland in 4th with 36. Sturt in 5th with 32. Salisbury in 6th with 30, rounding out those final spots. And then just looking for those final positions are West Adelaide and Adelaide Cobras in 7th and 8th, with 9th and 10th Fulham and Vipers, and Western Strikers and Adelaide Victory 11th and 12th and already relegated. On to the WMPL for the past weekend. Salisbury Inter with a 3-0 win over Flinders United. Sturt Lions a 2-1 loss against Metro United. Adelaide City losing 2-1 to Football SA NTC. West Adelaide a 4-1 win over Adelaide Uni, which was enough because West Torrens Burkalla drew 2-2 with Adelaide Comets, meaning West Adelaide have now won the WMPL. And I suppose that's a good place to start, probably the team most deserving of winning the league this season.
West Adelaide, yeah, I would say. So basically they've gone through the year with 1 defeat and 1 draw. I think the 1 defeat came against Comets, who finished 2nd. in the table, if my memory serves me correctly. Correct me if I am wrong, and one draw as well. So they've been a dominant force throughout this year. As they go into finals, it's hard to see who will stop them. They've got Sturt this weekend, and it's a massive game for Sturt. So who knows? Maybe Sturt will lift for that, and maybe there'll be a surprise there. But West Adelaide really have dominated this year, and they've got an 8-point lead at the top there. So they've coasted it, really, haven't they? I was at Metro United and Sturt on Friday night, and the pouring rain again. Every time I go to Carinia Reserve, it just seems to pour with rain. And
Sounds like a problem,
I got, yeah. Well, I was there 3 months ago with Johnny. Oh, so yeah, I'll talk to these highlights first. This is Florence Russell corner straight into the goals. Chanu just got her feet all wrong, didn't quite get off the ground. I don't think she was expecting it, and Florence Russell scored directly from a corner in 20 minutes. It was quite a feisty little game, this one, a little bit niggly. This was a ball back from Mansueto into the middle for Hayden Ingram, who headed into draw scores level. And a 1-1 draw would probably been a fair result in the balance of play. They were both very evenly matched sides. Then there was this little incident here. There was a head knock to Louis Saba, who went down, but the ball had broken to Mansueto, who tucked it away, and it was a decent enough goal. She was onside. And I thought maybe that's what Sturt were complaining about initially. I thought they were maybe complaining that Mansueto had been offside, but they were complaining about the knock to the ground for Louis Saba, who came off as a result of that, and second yellow to coach Frank Baldi for dissent. So he was sent off to the stands on his 50th birthday. Imagine that. A full 10 minutes of additional time due to the number of incidents that we had. There was a little bit of an intercourse, if that's the right word, between the referee and some spectators as well. There were a couple of injuries that we paused the game for as well. So it was a game full of incidents. It was very entertaining to watch, I must say. A draw, well, from my perspective, because I'm there as in a neutral observer capacity. But look, good game to watch. I think a draw would have been a fair result. But in the end, it's a big win for Metro United. It's taken them up to 21 points. They're sitting 7th in the table now. There's 2 games to go. They can't be caught by the bottom side. And now they also can't be caught by the second bottom side, which is the playoff spot. Second bottom plays off against second top from WSL in the division below. Flinders also played at the weekend. They had a loss. They've ended up on 15 points. They can also now not be caught by Sturt Lions, who are second bottom. So it looks like, well, currently Adelaide Uni are bottom and Sturt are second bottom by a point. Sturt have to play West Adelaide, and then I think they have NTC. This is from memory, to round out the two games. Yeah, so 6 points up for grabs. Sturt, sorry, I think I got that wrong. Sturt can catch Flinders, as can Adelaide Uni, but Flinders have a 5-point buffer on Adelaide Uni in bottom. So it's in Flinders' hands. If they can win a couple of games or get a draw, they'll escape automatic relegation, and they're positioned really to avoid the playoff as well. It looks like it'll be one of Sturt, Lions or Adelaide Uni to go down, and one of those two to go to playoffs as well.
Well, I was at 2 games this past weekend. Salisbury Inter versus Flinders was my first one. This first goal, a really good goal from Katie Bowler, who had a really great first half. Unfortunately, had to come off with injury at half time, which was really unfortunate. She was having a really good game. And then this second goal just really coming from a goalkeeping mistake from Molino, who was probably lucky actually not to be sent off earlier in the game with a last ditch challenge. Just one of those ones where you're sticking out the leg, trips the player, who I think it was Katie Bowler actually as well, who was pretty much just had an open goal to shoot at, but the referee only gave yellow in the end, so I think she was quite lucky. And then this own goal as well for Salisbury. Really just finished it off for Salisbury, which I'm guessing they're probably just hoping to end off the season on a good note. They can't really finish any higher than third as it stands. So really just sort of moving forward and I guess looking towards that upcoming final series. And then my second game of the weekend was between Adelaide Uni and West Adelaide. Adelaide Uni taking a shock lead with this quite stunning goal, which I think took everyone, including the crowd, by surprise from Georgia Ianella. And Uni weren't bad, to be completely honest. They held their own for a lot of the first half, but then West Adelaide just sort of switched it on earlier. Another own goal forced by Kelly Tatrin, pretty much. Forced by the defender into the back of the net. And pretty much from this point onwards, it was all one-way traffic from West Adelaide. Nicole Blackett getting on the score sheet, as she has tended to do these past few weeks, has come into great form ever since the leave of Rachel Quigley. And then West Adelaide scoring 2 late goals as well, which another thing, they've also continued their record of the last time they didn't score at least 4 goals in a game was actually against Adelaide Uni. They only scored 2, and that was back in round 7. So 4 goals a game is, for the past however many rounds, is quite insane, but very impressive from West Adelaide. And of course, this was enough for them to, I guess, give themselves the league due to the result that was to happen on the Saturday afternoon between Comets and Burkalla, and all in all, well deserved in the end from West Adelaide in that game. Mark, if you want to finish us off.
Well, the only thing that sort of I was going to talk about was that Burkalla Comets game. I think massive result for Berks, and the fact that they have prevented Comets from at least allowing West Adelaide celebrating the title win. But yeah, good result for Berks. Puts them closer to finals, and because I think they play top 5, is it, Seb?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just puts them a little bit closer. They're only 1 point behind the Football SA NTC, which is a great achievement for Berks to get close to finals, and hopefully they'll be able to make it. But the thing I wanted to mention was the fact that Comets finishing second. So great, a shout out to Dan, their coach of Comets, who took the step up from the WSL last year in Souths, and taking over the reins at Comets this year, and getting them to battle West Adelaide with unfortunately only losing out with only 2 games left to go. So a massive achievement on his part there to take a side to second table from jumping up an entire league.
Absolutely, a very big
just
achievement.
A great finish,
well
just
done.
quietly.
Yeah, really good goal. On to the ladder for heading into the final 2 rounds of the WMPL. Top, of course, are now champions of the league, West Adelaide with 43 points. Adelaide Comets in second on 35 points. Salisbury Inter in third with City 4th. Then 5th is NTC finishing off those final spots. Then Burkalla, Metro, Flinders, Stern, Adelaide Uni to finish off the table. Before we move on to...
Just going to say, Metro United have just hit a little bit of form just at the right time. Two wins in their last 2 games. So Paul Morris has done a good job there, I think, over these last 2 games. And I also just wanted to mention at the back, Chloe Mortimer and Sarah Taylor were just brilliant at the back for Metro United again. Just a great combination, those 2. That was all.
Absolutely, more than welcome to have. Before we move on to the men's MPL, we've got a special guest from around the grounds. We've got Johnny. Can we any guesses on where he is tonight?
Is he possibly?
Can we give it away, or
any guesses, guys?
We all know where he is.
So if this is a quick chat with Johnny, I'm just going to go make myself a cup of tea, have a scone, sit down, come back in about 25 minutes.
Well, let's see where he is first. Let's have a look. Johnny, where are you, mate?
Hello, boys. I am down here at Kilburn having a sort of lucky roll at the friendly with LA United and West Adelaide. Sorry, I'm my mouth full. Bad timing.
Well,
sorry, but great roll. Actually, they've got some contenders for. It's a contender for best. One of the best, not the best. One of the best in local league fruits.
So you got to be careful saying that. I guess because we have you for a short amount of time. I guess my main questions are: what's it like there? What's the halftime score? I believe it's halftime, or is it? What's the score now?
What's the score?
Yeah.
No clue. No clue. No clue at all. It is second half, I think. And I heard a lot of cheering, so I think LA United scored a few goals. But I'll be honest, I have no clue at all. I've been waiting around to do an interview with the president, John, for West Adelaide. So didn't get a chance to watch much of the game. But the atmosphere down is actually brilliant. I would say there's about 600 to 800 possibly in attendance. Minister Tom Kusantonis was here earlier. They unveiled a plaque. And also something very special as well is the Leo Forenzu's bar as well, which is behind me. They've unveiled that as the name of the bar. So he's a big part of the club over the years. So they've given him that honour of the name. And it's fantastic. A great event they put on. I stuck my way in, but it was fantastic. I was there with Antonis Pagonis as well. So great night. And look at the wafting smoke there as well. That's the barbecue, actually. You want to have a look at it?
Yes, please. Also, I don't think you're supposed to say that you snuck in either. You're supposed to say you're invited.
I was invited. No, I was here to meet. Oh, I can't get through. There's too many people. But anyway, I was here to meet up with the President John. So, it's fantastic. It's a great achievement.
This is West Adelaide's home ground, and they're playing Adelaide United in a friendly. Is that right?
Yes, Adelaide United
Yeah.
senior team. So the men's team, they've got a few trialists in tonight's fixture as well. It's I think Cavallo scored a goal from what I heard, but it's good to see. Good turnout. A lot of the senior men for the West Adelaide aren't playing. They're obviously resting ahead of this weekend's big game. But in attendance, there's some big all the LA United staff are all down here. Just had a chat with Ned. Nathan Cosmina's down here as well. So all here watching. Actually, I think Ernest is here as well. Just spotted him. There you go. And Ned was asking me if he should order a souvlaki, and I told him, yeah, definitely order a souvlaki roll. So, and he loved it. He had a half. He loved it.
Before we
he was
let
trying
you
to ask
go,
me he was asking what the difference between a souvlaki and a gyros is. So it's confusing. Came to the right guy.
Before we let you go, Johnny, I guess Mark and David, any additional questions? I guess in general ahead of this exciting weekend that's coming up, anything for him? Any hard-hitting questions?
You haven't seen Alessio Carocci walking around in the park outside that ground, have you at all?
No, I haven't.
No?
Where is he tonight?
Okay. Well, that's
You'll see.
That's what we're worried. That's what we're worried
Yeah.
about.
What's happened to him?
Last time we
Alright.
saw, he was in a road in the dark.
Okay, I'm a little bit worried now. I'll put out a search party. There's a few hundred here. We can go walking around looking for him if you have to. Let me know.
I don't know that he wants to be disturbed.
Well, he's probably already walking down to Port Adelaide maybe for the game on the weekend.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for having me, boys. I'm going to get back to this before it gets too cold, but always a pleasure chatting to you. It would have been earlier, but I was waiting for John to have a chat to him. So
No problem, Johnny. Enjoy the rest of your
Anyway.
night, and good luck for the weekend with both of your games. All
Thank you.
sure to be very, very exciting.
yes, this Playford, hopefully Playford can win. I'm calling it. They
For
can
your
win. It's
sake.
gonna be- yeah, but I've been there since, the first time I commentated back in 2018 was State League 2 soccer, and they were in State League 2 and got promoted that year. So to see what Ben Moore's done with them, I'll be honoured to be a part of that day with him. So can't wait. Anyway, Shabab's on Friday night, and then Cranksky at Croydon's on Saturday. So I'm happy.
Sounds very, very good. Thank you for joining us, Johnny. Enjoy the rest
Cheers,
of your
boys.
night at Kilburn.
You two boys, and let me know if you find Alessio.
Absolutely. Thank you, Johnny. Very, very exciting times ahead at West Adelaide. On to the NPL for last weekend. Modbury Jets losing 3-4 to Croatia Raiders, which was huge in the context of the rest of the weekend. Croydon 2-1 over Adelaide Comets. Para Hills losing 1-0 to Campbelltown. Adelaide United 4-1 over FK Beograd. Adelaide Olympic then 1-0 over South Adelaide. And then, of course, with that win between for Croatia against Modbury Jets, put Metro in the prime position to win the league then and there. but they lost 4-0 to Adelaide City that afternoon. I guess David, we'll start with you because I guess we had a little date there. We went together, nice little couples date. Ate some hot dogs. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Did we?
Yeah, we did. I had a hot dog. You had a hot dog too.
Yeah. Where was that again?
At Metro.
Metro, I was too, yeah. So we went there after. It's all coming back to me. I was thinking about earlier in the day when I met you at Service FM, but you're talking about when we got to Metro Stars, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
this was a game that didn't end up the way we were all expecting. I don't think, was it? In fact, you and I did get there a little bit late. I did pick you up in the car. We did go for some food, but by the time we'd done that and got to the ground, I think it was already 2-0 or maybe even 3-0.
It was 2-0. It was 2-0, and then while we were inside getting food, it then went to 3-0. So we still weren't even here at this point.
Yeah, that's right. So, and I guess I'm not sure what I was expecting from this. I know that I probably wasn't expecting a one-sided match or a game as one-sided as this turned out to be. It was entertaining enough, wasn't it? We went up to actually, you and I took a little bit of a decourse, didn't we? Because we were going to go up to where
we experienced a game.
Yeah, we went down and sat with the working class, didn't we? And it was, do you know, we actually stood down next to the bench. I don't think I've done that at an NPL match for a long time. Just stood next to the bench for a little bit, and then we went down to the corner flag. And of course, here's Raphael Leai scoring his debut goal for Adelaide City, and half of the Pacific Islands tuned in to watch, hopefully. So that was great to see as well. And you could see it meant a lot to him. We did go up to the commentary area, but we were ushered away by the cameraman, who wasn't very happy about us being there. Didn't recognise us, obviously. And then, Hamish Gow tripped towards the end. And a Ren Nagamatsu penalty, which was saved here, wasn't it? From memory. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah, good save by Oxenham, and it finished 4-0, didn't it? But do you know what? I didn't really take much of the game in because I was enjoying the company and I was enjoying the social occasion. So if I had to be honest, I would say I didn't really absorb much of the game. But I even had a little word with Luca Ullman, the Adelaide City substitute at the corner. Do you remember that, Seb?
Yeah.
So he's at,
He did.
he's at school with my daughter. So very often you don't recognise these guys when they're that close. In fact, I suggest that some of these players should maybe carry their numbers around with them when they're not playing, so that I can check it against my notes to confirm I know who I'm talking to. And I get Luca Ullman and another kid in that team, that Adelaide City team, scored a late goal at South Adelaide. Mark, I think you might have been on comms with me, maybe it was Ben at the very end. But anyway, these kids look very alike. But anyway, I had a quick chat with Luca, introduced myself as Lana's dad, and he gave me a little nod and a smile, maybe of sympathy rather than acknowledgement. But there you go. So that was Metro Stars and Adelaide City. Do you want me to talk about the game I was at, the Croydon one?
I was going to say, yeah, let's talk about the game which you watched.
Yes, okay. So Metro Stars, Adelaide City, I was there, thoroughly enjoyed it, didn't really absorb the game, but Croydon and the Comets I was at and doing commentary on, you've started that role a little bit early. That was Adam Martinello with what I think is probably one of the goals of the season, never mind the week.
Oh.
An overhead kick. Would you not agree? The technique.
No, that was more like I don't agree or disagree. I just think it's a very bold claim.
Well, it was a very fine goal to see in the flesh. And then Jayden Labasso turned and spun on a dime there just near the penalty spot to push the ball past Kallur in the Croydon goal to the far post to bring scores level. I think that was a goal just before halftime and a goal just after. And then about 52 minutes, if my memory serves me correctly, ball over to the far side and played inside to Luke Klimek. And Luke Klimek did here what Luke Klimek does often, takes a couple of steps, looks up, and that's just a precision shot to the far post off the inside of the post. That's a contender for goal of the week as well, but I think Martinello's is maybe a bit better, just quietly. Don't tell Luke Klimek I said that, though. And that was it. Finished 2-1, and I packed up and headed over to Service FM to pick you up, Seb. And you were finishing up. This is your cue to talk about your game.
Oh, very nice.
to pick you up from the FK Beograd Adelaide United game, Seb, before we went on to Metro Stars and Adelaide City, and tell me, how did FK Beograd and Adelaide Olympic go?
Well, I can't tell you how Adelaide Olympic went because I didn't watch them play, but I can tell you how FK Beograd went.
Adelaide United.
It was so good up until that point.
Oh, it's blew it.
Yeah, no, it was a very interesting game. It was interesting. Harry Crawford and Ryan White both scoring. I think pretty much capped off a great week for them after playing for the first team midweek in the Australia Cup. Joey Garuccio scored here to double their leads for half-time. I think me and Antonis were saying about how if FK Beograd could have just held it that slight bit more, I think they would have been a lot more into the game. This mistake as well pretty much meant Austin Ayu had a free shot at goal with his quality. FKB, I'm not sure whether this shows it, but FK Beograd did have a goal ruled out for offside. I'm not sure whether this shows it, but it was offside in the end. Another flick through Ryan White, as we just said. 4-1 in the end. FK Beograd just not really the better team on the day, and Adelaide United still quite impressive in general. This was a very late goal from Maxim Ivanic, which caught me and Antonis off guard, because at this point we were trying to figure out what the table meant for next week, so we got very much caught off guard. But a very strong Adelaide United team who didn't have their A-League players, which I think is a really good sign for them going towards the final series. That show they perhaps don't need to have a Luki Ivanovic. They didn't start Jean-Paul Mbembe either. They didn't start their regular Mbembe or Phyllis. They both were on the bench. They had Kasumovic and I can't remember his name. I should know. I can't think of his name, but they had Kasumovic and another centre back at the back as a different defensive pairing. I think they played quite well. But other than that, again, Harry Crawford a standout for me in that game once again, as he has been pretty much all season. What makes you smile about that?
No, the fact I called it. I said at the start of the year, I'm really looking forward to seeing him this year, and he's come along.
Did you watch that? Did he play in that first game at Hindmarsh?
I don't think he did. I think he came off the bench.
Okay, because I remember you said that about I remember you said about Tattoo.
Tattoo, yeah, and I got that from. I'll give him a shout out from Dimmy at Comets. He said to me, "Watch out for this kid." So I did, and I was like, "Wow, I can see why." Because so he gave me the heads up on that. But I think, Harry Crawford, he's just had an absolute cracker of a season this year. He's really put himself in the, I'd say in the window, but he's really shone a light on him, and it's great to see. Like I said, that's exactly right. I mean, it's just brilliant to see. And like I said, I know his dad. He's Elizabeth Vale boy, which is, like I said, where I'm from. So it's great to see young lads like that getting the opportunity and playing well when he's really doing well. And it's great. Like I said, great to see. So
absolutely. I guess Mark will let you. I guess.
Well, I actually tuned into the Para Hills Campbelltown game because I was like, you know what? I was looking through the fixtures. I was like, well, David's already on a game, such and such. So I actually just basically tuned into the game that didn't have some commentary, so I could actually talk about it.
Very smart man.
Oh, mate, I'm a thinker, that's for sure. And that was the only goal of the game. Came in late, and it was funny actually. Just at it was about the 75th minute mark. I thought to myself, I tell you what, if Campbelltown get a goal here, I think, and just finish it at 1-0, that it's going to be massive ramifications. And they went and scored a few minutes later. A beautiful goal there from Alex Mullen. I'm not quite sure if he meant it, if it was more of a cross, but it ended up in the back of the net. They awarded it to Alex Mullen. I wasn't sure if Halliday got a shoulder or a back to it when he jumped into it. But overall, the game was very trying to put this the right way. It was very scrappy. It was very scrappy at times. I think the pitch had a bit to play with that. So, but yeah, it got very scrappy at times, and that little bit of quality towards the end of the game there from Alex Mullen ended up being the match winner. So, but yeah, overall it was just a very up and down game, very scrappy, and in the end, like I said, just one moment of real quality there showed in the end.
2 games left. Who wants Who wants one each?
Modbury and Raiders. I'll jump on that one. I don't even know
You've
what
claimed
the other game
it.
was. Yeah, I'll take it.
Olympic
That's
and
fine. Oh, the
South
other one's
Adelaide.
Olympic and South Adelaide. So, yeah, look, I tuned into some of the Modbury Raiders game. Overall, it was very wet. I think going from memory on the Friday night, as we can see there. Going, look, it's yeah, that was a big selling point actually. That collision there for I don't know how long Jai Kingburn's going to be out for, but he really struggled after that hit. Paul Wilson went off not long after that either, so it really did actually have effect on both teams. Costa with a beautiful finish there, and it just shows you what they've missed from him this year.
Yeah.
I think if Raiders had him fit firing from day one, I think it would have been a different Raiders outfit, but it just shows you the quality that he brings to that side and what he can add to that, what he does for this Raiders team. I think he ended up scoring a hat-trick going from memory. So,
yep.
Like I said, if you've got a player like that from the start of the season, it just makes things so much easier. But yeah, like I said, massive win for Raiders because that effectively, I think that secured their NPL season.
Safety, yeah.
It ensured safety for them. Almost, actually, no, it doesn't quite do it.
No, they can still go down, but they need to lose by a lot of goals.
Yeah, it's a big goal swing. It's a six goal swing. So, mate, anything's possible. We've seen lots of things happen this season, but it really obviously went a long way with Olympics form at the moment. The win for Raiders was massive, but it obviously put a massive dent in Modbury, and you sort of go with it. They would have. There's a good chance Modbury had one eye on their cup round of 32. And so that might have been a bit of a play in the back of their minds. And obviously now with that, not having to worry about that this week's going to be tough just for them for backing up 4 days later, plus flights and things like that, and 120 minutes and penalties. So it's going to be a very interesting week this week.
David, to you for the final game.
So that's Olympic and South, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So Olympic, massive win for them. I think going into it, I can't remember who we all picked. I think I picked by default 3-2 wins. But
from memory, Alessio picked South Adelaide just because he thought they wanted to piss them off. So
really? he picked Souths
for that prime reason.
Look, I think it's a game that probably has given Olympic significant hope. It did take them out of the bottom two. It did take them out of relegation zone, so they're now third bottom. But they have arguably the harder task next week of the two teams that are down in 10th and 11th. They've got Adelaide City, so it was a must-win for them. Had they not won it, they would still be in the bottom two with the hard task. As it happens, their fortune is in their own hands. So they're third bottom, and they know what they've got to do this weekend, and that's win to stay up. If they lose and results elsewhere don't go their way, then they may go down. But that was a massive win for them. Even I understand it was a little bit scrappy. Didn't see a lot of it, but I understand it was a bit scrappy. But a 1-0 win for them is enough to maybe give them, I hope that they will probably be okay. I don't want to curse them, but
we'll have a look at the table heading into Friday night simultaneous kickoffs. Metro on top with 40 points. Of course, Metro, I just said that. Metro off top with 40 points. Modbury in second with 38, as well as Campbelltown, who need to win against Modbury and need a favour from Adelaide Comets to win the league. Then Comets in fourth, and then City and Adelaide United 5th and 6th respectively. FK Beergrad and Croydon still able to make those final spots in that 6th position. And then Croatia unable to make finals and probably unlikely to get relegated as well. And then between Olympic, Knights and South Adelaide in 10th, 11th and 12th to battle for their lives on Friday night.
It's very dramatic, exciting. Isn't it?
Yeah, very, very. Well, let's see what we think will happen. We'll do our predictions. Let's have a look. Starting with State League 2, All games this Saturday at 3 p.m. Every single game as a simultaneous kickoff for this final round across all 3 of the men's leagues. Gawler Eagles versus Eastern United. Eastern United for me 3-0.
Eastern United for me too.
Are we just going to rely on Alessio picking these up?
Absolutely, from wherever he
All right,
is
awesome.
in
Wherever,
the world.
whichever street he's
whichever
in,
bush
whichever park.
he's crouched down in.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. I'm
He
going
never
to
leaves a pen and a pad, does he?
I'm going to go Eastern. We got to do scores.
Sorry. I forgot. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, gee whiz, mate. You just want to get the results this week, so none of us can take the title. So, David, you picked Eastern to win. What's your score result, mate?
I'll go for a 3-0.
I'm going to go for Eastern and 4-0.
Cove versus Adelaide Uni. I think Uni. Oh no. Oh, I don't know. 2-2.
Oh, brilliant.
I think before I speak sometimes.
You mean you speak before
Is this
you
at
think?
Cove?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's at Cove. Yes.
I'll go for a Cove. I'll go for a Cove win 3-2.
I'm actually really tempted to go for a Uni win and a Pontian draw a bit further on, so they will finish on 53 points. That'd be great.
Don't spoil.
Look.
Feels like you're taking more time to make your predictions now.
I'm gonna go. Well, it's getting to the pointy end, mate. I'm actually going to go a Cove win. I'm going to go 1-0 to Cove. I mean, they've won 5 of they're in form 5 of the last 5. Adelaide Uni are 3 in their last 5 with a loss in there as well. So just on form, Cove have won the last 5. I'm going to go with Cove.
Adelaide Hills Hawks versus Noarlunga United. Noarlunga for me on this one 3-0.
Yeah, Noarlunga for me. I'm going to go 4-1.
I'll go with Noarlunga as well. I'll go 3-1.
Northern Demons versus Seaford Rangers up at Port Pirie. I think a Northern Demons 2-1 win.
Yeah, I'm going Northern Demons as well to get a win before finals. 3-2.
Yeah, Demons win as well. I'll go 3-2 as well.
Pontian Eagles versus Mowbray Vista. I think Pontian will win 3-1 and be promoted to State League 1.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go Pontians as well. It's at home for Pontians as well. We know what their home pitch is like. They've made it almost an absolute fortress there. They don't lose too often at home. So, yeah, I'm going to go Pontians. I'm going to go 3-2.
I'll go Pontian as well, and I'll go 2-1.
Finally, Port Adelaide versus Mount Barker United. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
I'm going to Mount Barker win.
Wow.
Port Adelaide have lost 5. Their last 5 so far. They're not in any good form. I love Port. They're a great club, one of my old clubs. But at the moment, they're struggling. I just can't see them getting a win. I'm going to go Mount Barker. It's only a 2-1 win to Mount Barker, which will bring them level on points, and it will be their best ever finish. But they'll still finish in 10th because they won't have. I don't think they'll get a big enough goal swing over Port.
Yeah, I don't think Mount Barker have finished higher than second bottom in the league since they came in 9 seasons ago, 2016. I think third bottom is the highest they've ever finished. So maybe that's a successful year for them. This game will not change that. They'll neither finish
Well,
Second
if they
bottom
win,
or fourth
if they
bottom?
win by 9 goals, David, you can't discount them for that. They've conceded 9. Doesn't mean they can't score 9,
They have to win by 10 goals, don't they?
doesn't it? No.
It's a minus 21, minus 29, so it's an 8 goal swing. Or 9 goal swing.
Okay.
There we go.
9 goals, right. Okay, my apologies.
Math.
So, okay, I'm going to go for Mount Barker to get their highest ever finish, which would be fourth bottom, with a 9-0 win in this game.
However, in saying that, they have never finished on more than 19 points. So regardless if they get a point or if they get a result, be it a draw or a win, they will have their best points tally ever.
Yeah, they've
So
not had 19
will be.
points before, are they? Are you saying 19 is the highest?
I think 19 is their highest. As in they've reached 19 before. I think that's what Alessio said. It could be 17's their highest, but
I don't think they've won 6 games in a season before, so I would be surprised if they've got 19 in the past. But I could be wrong.
But they drew one. They drew one, David.
True, yes, true. No,
Actually, why am I picking a draw? They've only drawn once. I'm going to pick a Mount Barker win.
Mount Barker win. I'm going to pick Mount Barker to win this 9-0 and finish 9th and not 10th this year.
On to round 17. My apologies. On to round 17 of the WSL Adelaide Jaguars versus Western Strikers. I think this will be a 2-all draw.
Sorry, just bringing it up a bit slow.
I'm going
This is what game, sorry?
Jaguars win for me.
Jaguars and Strikers. I'll go for Strikers win. 2-1.
Fulham United versus Cove. Cove for me, 2-0.
Cove win for me.
Yeah, Cove win for me too. 3-0.
South Adelaide versus Elizabeth Grove. I'm going to go for a 3-all draw.
I'm going for a South Adelaide win in this 3-2.
I'm going to go with South Adelaide win.
Campbelltown versus Modbury Jets. I think Campbelltown will win, and I mean, I won't even bother. But when we get to Campbelltown next week, I'm not even going to make a prediction because my prediction is they're going to go the season unbeaten.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll win against Modbury as well.
Yeah, Campbelltown win.
And finally, Croydon versus Modbury Vista. Modbury Vista.
Modbury Vista for me too.
Modbury Vista for me.
Sounded a bit like Kermit there, David. On to State League 1. On to State League 1 for Saturday the 10th of August. All games are 6 p.m. kickoff, and we have coverage across, I think, all but one at the moment. I think, if my memory serves me correct. Starting with West Torrens Burkalla versus Vipers FC. Do I think with my head or do I think with my heart?
Do you want Vipers to win then?
I have to.
I don't know. I'm just.
I have to back the North.
Vipers North.
No. I'm backing. No, I'll back. No. As in Playford. Sorry.
Okay.
As in
fair
Playford.
enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
All
yeah.
right.
I'm gonna go
now.
for a. I'm gonna go for a draw. A 1-1 draw.
That's an upset.
Well, you wait a bit, and I'll tell you my other prediction, which puts that one puts a real spanner in the works.
I'm going to go for a Burkalla win in this one, 3-2.
Yeah, look, I'm going to Burke's win as well. I'm going to go 4-2, and Sakani to score a hat trick.
On to Cumberland United versus Blue Eagles. None of these teams can really move anywhere or really do much, to be honest. But I'm going to go for a Blue Eagles 2-1 win.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a dead rubber this in that neither side can finish in the top 2 and neither side are going to drop out of the top 6. But I suppose they'll be both still wanting, I would expect they're still wanting to win. I'm going to go for a Blue Eagles victory in this one, 3-2.
Yeah, look, well, actually, David, they can't even finish out the top 4, the pair of them, because that's a 4-point gap between fourth and fifth. So all that can happen is Cumberland can go third and Blue Eagles can go fourth. So look, I'm going to go a 2-2 draw. I think they're both going to rest players if they need to, and just be ready for finals.
West Adelaide versus Adelaide Victory. I think West Adelaide will win 3-0.
Yeah, I'm going for West Adelaide winning this
Your
one.
game too, David.
Yeah, I think this will be an interesting match. West Adelaide currently sitting out of the top 6 on 30 points, but if they win, and even if Sturt or Salisbury, if one of them is beaten and West Adelaide win, West Adelaide will playing finals football. West Adelaide lose this, it's all over for them. Even if they get a draw, it's still a possibility depending on results elsewhere. So it's a big match for West Adelaide, and I think they'll be up for it. I think they'll go out there and they'll win 4-0.
I'm going to 2-1 for West Adelaide.
Salisbury United versus Fulham United. I think I'm going to go for a Salisbury shock. No, I'm going to go for a Salisbury 3-1 win.
Yeah, I'm with you, Seb. Salisbury for me are going to win, and I'm going to go with a 3-2.
I'll take it. Good game for me.
Maddie Taylor to score the winner.
You mean Sarah Taylor's brother?
Yep, that's it. That's the one. Love it.
I'm going to go for a Salisbury United win in this one as well. I'll go for 2-1.
Western Strikers versus Playford. I will go for a Playford 3-0 win, and they will be automatically promoted.
I'm going to Playford win.
I want the drama. I want the drama.
You want the drama? I'm going to Playford win. I'm going to go with 4-1.
Playford win 2-0.
And finally, Adelaide Cobras versus Sturt Lions. Cobras again relying on Salisbury United and West Adelaide to lose to make the 6. Sturt are they safe? No, they're not safe actually. So
No,
Sturt
they're not safe.
win as well. I'm going to go for a Sturt win though, 3-1.
Start for me as well. Start for me. You're making us go first every time. Is this why you're top of the ladder? Because you wait to see what everyone else is doing.
I normally go. I normally go second because it normally goes. Normally every week it goes Seb, myself, you, then Alessio. I pay attention to that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm saying it is normally me first and Alessio last.
Yep, and I normally go second.
I haven't noticed that. Mind you, the last couple of weeks I've just been throwing in 3-2s right across the board because. What's the game? Sturt and Cobras.
Cobras.
Okay, I'm going for Sturt winning this one, and they will secure finals football with their victory, which will be 2-0.
But they can't with your predictions, I don't think. Can they?
Oh
no, they can. They can. No. Ignore me.
Yeah, because I've actually backed 5th, 6th, and 7th. I think, haven't I?
Yeah.
I think I've backed
you have.
Salisbury and West.
So what you're actually backing is West Adelaide won't make finals.
Yeah,
That's which is where you're going to. So I hope you enjoy your time at Kilburn.
I think I also said West Adelaide will win and make finals, but then I backed the 2 teams above them to win.
Make finals. That's all for State League 1.
I'll go. Hang on, before you go, I better make a prediction. Sturt 2-1. Easy.
Very, very well.
Not that I need not that I need the points, boys, because you guys are way behind.
All right, cool. On to the WMPL for round 17, starting with West Adelaide and Sturt Lions, where they will be presented with their winner's trophy, and I think they'll cap it off with a win as well, 3-0.
Yeah, West Adelaide will win that. Make a day of it.
Oh, that's... Is this the game they'll slip up? No, don't be silly, David. It'll be a West Adelaide win 3-1.
NTC versus Adelaide Uni. This is NTC for me. 3-0. 3-1.
And
Yeah,
TC
I'm
for
going to
me.
back in. Yeah, I'm going to back in TC as well.
Adelaide Comets versus Adelaide City. I'm going to go for Comets on this one. 2-1.
Yeah, I'll go Comets win as well.
I'll go for a Comets win as well. 3-1.
Metro versus Salisbury Inter. I'm going to go for Salisbury Inter in this one. 3-2. I reckon it'll be a decent game.
Yeah, Salisbury Inter for me.
I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I'll go for a draw in this one. Metro actually don't really have much to play for, though, do they? Because they can't.
Well, they can make finals.
They can make finals, yeah, right.
Yeah, they can.
I'm going to go for a draw in this one, 2-2.
And finally, West Torrens Burkalla versus Flinders United. I'm going to go for a Burks win, 2-0.
Burks win for me as well.
Yep, Burkalla win, 3-1.
Very good. Finally,
before you move on to the MPL, Seb, Mount
Okay.
Barker, 2023, they finished in 11th with 19 points. And you were right; they didn't have more than 6 wins. They had 5 wins, and they've had 4 draws.
4 draws, right? Yeah, I didn't think they'd won 6 games before.
No. So
Is that
this would be if they can get the. If they can,
is that arguably then? This is completely different. Is that arguably a better season?
Yeah, because they've lost less.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
well, if they get
unless
the
we've got it
results,
wrong.
if they win this weekend, would that have been 6 wins?
Yeah.
No, that'll be 7 wins, isn't it?
I know.
They've won 6 already. This season they've won 6 and drawn 1.
Sorry to bring this up.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what have they done? Six wins.
6.
Yeah, so 6 wins and drawn 1. But for me, more wins is better.
Fair
Really?
enough.
Yeah, mate, positives over the negatives, man.
No, but they've lost more games.
They've
this
lost
year.
3 more games. They've lost 3 more games, but they've gained an extra win.
What's the
So-
goal difference? What's the goal difference like?
They've got a minus goal difference of 29 so far.
And what did they have in 2020?
2023. Hang on, let me just get that ladder back up.
Sorry.
No, they had minus 33 and conceded 53 goals.
Okay, maybe I'm with you then. Maybe that was a worse season. Maybe this is the best one.
So
Either
this
way,
is a better season. This is a better. I reckon this is a better season. And I think, like I said, they'll get the result this weekend, which will give them 7 wins and give them 22 points.
So instead of being the second worst team in the state, they're going to be the third worst. Yay! Sorry, Alessio.
Oh.
Sorry, Alessio. Sorry, Mount Marker. Sorry, I was just a joke.
On to finally the men's MPL for the final round this Friday. All games at 7:30, simultaneous kickoff. So very, very exciting times ahead. Adelaide City versus Adelaide Olympic. I think City will win 2-0.
Sorry, I'm a bit slow. What was it? This was Adelaide City and Olympic.
Adelaide Olympic.
Adelaide City will win this, and do you know, for this round we should have Mark go first for each one of the predictions. What do you think?
Okay.
That's
Okay,
fine.
so
That's
this game aside, though, obviously.
All
So
right,
Adelaide City
all right.
will win this one, and they'll win it 3-0.
I'm going to go an Olympic 1-0 win.
Really?
1-0 win for Olympic.
Adelaide.
Grind it out, you reckon? Hang on a minute, I want to talk about this. So you reckon they're going to grind it out? They're going to get that 1 point that is enough. Oh, 1 point's not going to be enough for them, was it? Oh, it's a 3 points, so 27. So that would save
Yeah,
them.
they
That's what
need
you're
to win
saying.
because their goal difference isn't good
So
enough.
yeah, they have to win.
And this is at Olympic or it's at City?
City. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening, Mark. I really don't see it happening.
The joys of the game.
Nah,
I've gone with the heart.
See it happening.
Going with my heart. Look, they've won their last 2 games. City have won their last 2 games. They've got Olympic. No, it's all in their hands. They win, they stay up.
Yeah,
Simple
but
as that.
their last 2 games are Para Hills and South Adelaide.
South Adelaide. I know, but hey, that form could mean anything. And you guys are digging me out, like seriously though.
All right,
they've got nothing. They've got to go. They have to win, otherwise they're down. Like if Para Hills get a result over South Adelaide, it's as simple as that.
I see
but
logic,
you know what?
I see logic in it.
They've got it's all in their hands. They have to win, and I know they'll pull out all the stops to do whatever they can to win. So, you know what? Like I said, I'll go with my heart. I hope Olympics stay up, and that's it. It's just how. Wait, we've seen stranger things. No one picked Raiders to beat Modbury last weekend. No one picked City to beat Adelaide to beat Metro last weekend. Both top teams lost. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen.
Yeah, no, I see it. I totally see it. I could see it happening. I'm going to stick with my prediction with City, but I wouldn't surprise me.
I don't blame you. I just hope the Olympics stay up. So I'm going to go for them for the win.
Next is Croatia Raiders versus Adelaide United. David, this is where you're at. I think
I have to. I have to pick. Remember, you just said I need to go first.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys want me to go first because you guys want to try and catch me in the tipping. So, what game are we on? I'm only kidding. Look, I'm going to go with a 3-3 draw. Costa to get on the score sheet again, but a 3-3 draw because I think 3-3 draw.
3-2 to Adelaide United.
I think there'll be a few goals in this one. 3-3 and 3-2 sounds about right. I'll go for a draw as well. I think I'll go for a draw as well. I'll go. What did you say? 3-3, Mark? I'll go for 2-2. I'll go for 2-2.
FK Beergrad versus Croydon. But either of these need to win this to at least see if they can make finals.
Do you want me to go first, Seb?
Yeah. That would just mean making thinking noises.
Okay, that's all right. I'm going to go an FK win 2-1.
I agree with that exactly, I think.
I agree with that exactly too.
1. Campbelltown City versus Modbury Jets. Huge game.
Look, I have always said the last few times that we've had the cup games played in between, I've said the team cup that's had to play the cup, which funny enough was Campbelltown and Modbury. I said they're both going to struggle that weekend because they were coming off a midweek game and all that sort of stuff. They both then went and won their games. Right? So, with that logical thinking, you would think I'm going to pick Modbury. You'd think I'd pick Modbury. However, I'm actually going to go Campbelltown win, and I'm going to go 2. There's going to be goals, and I'm going to go with a 3-2 Campbelltown win.
I'm going to go for a Campbelltown win as well. I think, actually, Modbury have lost their last 2 league games, plus they're coming off that cup game as well. And I think Campbelltown, although they ground out the result against Para Hills Knights last week, will be the winners this week. And I'll go 2-1.
Modbury to win 2-1. What's next? Adelaide Comets versus Metro. The other side to that equation between Campbelltown and Modbury.
So with this one, right? So I've just
So
picked
what
Campbelltown.
have you? So at the moment, Campbelltown's in pole position for you.
Yes, for me.
But
This
what does
present
this
moment,
say?
right? Because the simple fact is, if I want my prediction from the start of the season to come true, I need Comets to win. So I'm going Comets 2-1.
Well,
Because
not just that, all of us.
because if that's the case, Campbelltown jumped to first, and I put Campbelltown to win the league. So
we all put Campbelltown to win the league.
yeah, I think everyone did. Yeah. So if I pick Campbelltown here, and if I pick Comets to beat Metro, then Campbelltown obviously take out top spot. So there's no other rhyme or reason behind me picking Comets to beat Metro, purely for that fact. Like that's
because you want to be right.
because I want to be right for the end of this from when I picked it at the start of the year. So I'm going a Comets 2-1 win over Metro Stars.
I'm gonna go for a Comets win 1-0.
I'm going to go for a Metro Stars win 1-0.
So what? So that means I think Modbury will win the league at the end of the weekend. You think Campbelltown, and David thinks Metro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very exciting. Finally, South Adelaide versus Para Hills Knights. I think I think Para Hills will win this. 2-0.
I'm
3-1.
going a 2-2 draw, which would then relegate Para Hills.
Yeah, because they need to win. Right.
Because then I'll be right again.
Yeah. This will be a great game. You know, I mean, you can. The thing for me, right, with finals is that, and I'm a bit old-fashioned, is that all these games at the top really don't have the same interest for me, or generate the same interest for me as the games where a club or a side's season potentially ends. All those teams up in finals, berth spots 1, 2, 3, and 4. They've all got a game next week, regardless. I'm not saying the game won't be entertaining, but for me, the interest lies with the likes of these games where Para Hills are playing South, and it's potentially the end of the season for them. So Para Hills Knights will come out fighting for this one. I think they'll win. It'll be scrappy and it'll be ugly, and they'll win 1-0. But I think it'll be great to watch. Very interesting. Para Hills Knights 1-0.
So just off that, I think Olympic will be relegated. You think Para Hills, and David thinks Olympic will be relegated.
Yeah, if he's picking Para Hills to win.
Off our predictions.
Yeah.
Because he picked City as well, yeah.
Very, very interesting.
So actually, with that in mind, did we work out who's going to finish in the top 6 then for that 5th and 6th spot then?
No clue.
Because
That's for Alessio to figure out.
Adelaide, so I picked against Adelaide City. So if Adelaide City lose, I picked. Did I pick?
I've picked the top 6.
I think United and FK Beograd will go up, and I think FK Beograd will go into 6. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think
my predictions. Yeah, my predictions have led to the top 6 as it is, just with possible positions swapped around.
Yeah. However, if with that in mind, if I actually want my pre-season prediction to be correct, I need FK Beograd to stay in 7th.
Well, speaking of, I thought we'd have a look quickly at our pre-season predictions, right?
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. So, where is it? There it is. Okay, so at the moment, only one spot is confirmed, which Alessio was actually the only one to get right, with South Adelaide bottom. The rest of us did not predict that. I'm wrong, at least.
The green means that's where they finished, and they've got it right. Right, yep.
Well, I guess we're all technically wrong with South Adelaide as well, looking at it. But there's some very interesting ones here, I think. Mark, you put Adelaide United up at 3rd. I mean, Johnny, we're not even going to talk about Johnny's.
No, I was going to say, don't even bother Johnny. Yep.
You put but another pattern, which Alessio did pick on as well. All but one, you, Mark, put Raiders in 4th, but you still put them in 6th for finals.
Say again? I've got them in 6th for finals, yeah.
Yeah, but everyone else put them in 4th.
Ah, yes. Yep. See, at the moment, I've got Adelaide City, that's correct. Comets, correct. If they stay as they are. FKB grades in 7th. Everyone, I had Mowbray way down there. I had them in 8th. I think I've got Croydon and Olympic are both currently in the right spots as well, I think. So,
Yeah.
but
Very
normally a team, the thing is, the reason I think we all did Raiders so high was the fact that there's always, when teams come up, there's normally at least one team does really well and they make finals.
Yeah.
And I think we all just picked Raiders to be that team.
Yeah.
I think as well, I'd covered a couple of Raiders games in State League One last year, and I was quite
Yeah, we
impressed.
both
with them.
did,
I think
David.
that's-
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's why
But
I
like I
had
said,
them up there
I
as
think,
well.
and we all knew that. I think when we did this, I think we all knew that they'd signed Anthony Costa as well. And I think if he was fit
Yeah,
this
I think-
year, he would
yeah.
have played. I think he would have had a massive, massive influence on where they would have finished if he was playing week in, week out.
I will go back to that because I'm pretty sure we did do top goal scorer as well. We did
I
top
picked
goal
Anthony
scorer.
Costa.
I think
I actually think I
picked
I
Anthony
picked-
Costa as well.
Yeah, I
Oh
reckon.
no, I might have picked Garrido.
I bet
Oh, yeah.
nobody picked Red Nagamatsu.
I think his name
know-
was in the mix though. I actually think
Yeah,
he
but I
might
don't
have
think
been
it-
in
I
the
don't
mix.
think it was
It
there.
wasn't picked. No, I think I picked Costa, and yeah, I think I picked Costa.
I don't
but
think,
I'd have to go.
I don't
we'd
think
have to go
anyone.
back
I
to
don't
the
think.
show.
Yeah, I don't think anyone said Andre Carl or Skamitzi at all. At all.
I think Alessio might have said Skamitzi.
I'll go back and listen, and I'll report back next week. But
Yeah,
to finish it off, on from that conversation, I thought we'd do a little bit of a fun thing. I guess
Oh,
look
watch
at as what's that supposed to mean? As I guess we head into the final round, we're going to have a look at what we thought of the teams that have done this year and a little report card. How fun! So basically, how a report card works. Basically, we'll just go through each team where we think basically on. I think the factors of what we expected, what they have done, and this is across Cup and League, I think. So what expectations, what has happened, and then I guess anything else that could have affected them to take into account. Sound easy enough, lads?
Oh, it sounds really easy.
Well, yeah, it sounds easy as you've just explained it, but whether it's that easy in
Well,
practice.
well, we'll start with Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Where do we think they go in this tier list?
So is A, they've done well, and F, they've done not well?
Yeah, F is like
Fail.
really
A fail?
horribly bad. Yeah, well, yeah.
Look, I'll go first for a promoted side. I guess the expectation is that they
I
might
want you guys to be harsh as well. I want you to be harsh about this as well. Be harsh and honest and truthful. All right.
Okay.
David's like, now
Okay,
do I
so-
want to actually go first?
Well, I don't. I've already probably annoyed everyone at Mount Barker. I really want to annoy other clubs as well. Okay, look, Croatia Raiders. Croatia Raiders, a promoted side. Probably, I know we all had them tipped to do quite well because we've just seen that in the last chart. But the reality is, a promoted side. You could say that it's a big step up from State League One to NPL, and for them to finish above the bottom. Where are they in the table right now? They're like 7th or 8th or something.
That's,
So-
9th at the moment.
Ninth.
9th. Oh well, actually, maybe they are. This is yeah. Okay, I'll say that they've done better than throughout the season. I think they've done better than expected. I think they're probably better than 9th. So I'll give them a C. Is that how this works?
Yeah, I think. We have to come to a consensus, but I think I would agree with the C as well, unless Mark has something to throw into the mix.
Oh yeah, look. I was thinking the fact that they're 9th, they're still not technically clear. Are they? They're still not technically clear of relegation battle. I mean, the 25 points. If Parahills can win, it's got to be a 6-goal swing. But I would have said more, maybe a D. So, but happy to go with a C.
Shall we go with majority?
Of course. Yeah, that's what I'm
All right,
saying.
well-
That's definitely.
Yeah. So we'll go with a C grade for Raiders, which I think is fine and fair enough. Next up is an interesting one. Adelaide City. We had high expectations. They started shockingly poor. But
They
now
didn't
they've brought it
start
back.
shockingly poor.
Sorry, they didn't start
They
shockingly.
actually
Yeah, they won the
started.
first
They
two.
started. Yeah,
They first were two.
yeah. Okay, let me rephrase. They started well, then went into shockingly poor form, and then really pulled it back. I would say probably another C. Because I think I expected a lot more still.
I think I expected more too, but I would probably give them less than C, given that we've given Raiders a C. I would give them a D. And that's because I expected more as well. And they won 2, then they lost like 7 in a row, but then they went undefeated for about 8. So if we're to do it in the balance of the season, then that's very mid-table, isn't it? But let's give them a D. Let's make them just a little bit worse than Croatia Raiders.
Well, what does Mark have to say? What does Mark have to say? What do you think?
Yeah, look, I actually had them finishing 5th at the start. When I picked them, I had them finishing exactly where they currently are. So I think it's been a pass, but I think that 7 games, the fact that they were sitting in relegation for a period of time, and you sort of get clouded by that 8-goal swing, that 8-game swing where they just turned it around and won 8 straight. So I would have said maybe a C or a D, to be honest, but they're exactly where I thought they'd be at the end of the year. So
Okay. D?
I think
Yeah.
a C.
I think it's D.
It's basically an F for losing all those games in a row and an A for winning all those games in a row. So that makes it a C or a D. Yep.
Yeah.
So that puts them in between.
It
doesn't really help.
It's a C minus.
Yeah.
And
So
then this
put
is
them-
but what's funny is this is the argument my daughter then raises. What's the difference between a C minus and a D plus? So
So I feel like you gotta pick one. Is it a C or a D? I think D.
Yeah, D's good.
there's your majority.
Next up, Adelaide Olympic. Now, the thing is, right, I didn't expect much from Adelaide Olympic, and they've, well, I guess, sort of been where I expected, but it's still not a good season either. So I'd probably go E.
I would have said E. I mean, they're not out of the relegation battle at this stage. Obviously, they're exactly where I had them as well. I had them finishing 10th at the moment. So I would have said, yeah, probably in E. I mean, they did have a good cup run.
Oh,
They
true,
did make
true,
it.
true.
They did make it to the semis of the cup. They did have a good cup run. So on that,
Yeah,
I'd
you're
say
right.
maybe a D. Just
But
Just
didn't they
based off
arguably have an easier route to the cup final, to the cup semi? Didn't they
well,
play?
you can only
some
beat what's in
silly-
front of you. They beat Northern Demons, but you can only beat what's in front of you. They still made it to the semis.
Yeah.
I think it was the semis they made it to, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It was, yeah.
So yeah, look, it's not a fail. So maybe an E would be the way to go. I said even with the cup run, because the simple fact is if they do get relegated, then it's a fail as far as I'm concerned. That they haven't done what they wanted to do, which was stay up.
Yeah.
So I know they would have been pushing they would have wanted finals at the start of the year, but
David, any
Yeah,
thoughts
E's
or
fine
happy
with me
E?
too. I'm happy with E.
Perfect. Adelaide Olympic in E grade. Campbelltown. I think they have to go an A. I think they've delivered on what we expected. Won the cup, have come from nowhere to possibly win the league. I think A is probably there's probably only one other team that I'd probably put an A as well.
If you want us to be truly harsh, does any team get an A?
I was just wondering the same sort of thing because none of them have wanted to win the league, as in keep chopping and changing. They'll lose valuable points in the wrong games. For me, it'd be Campbelltown, Modbury, and Metro would all be in B. And the only thing that would probably put Metro, have Campbelltown and Modbury just above Metro is their cup run.
Okay.
until you have a final. You have the minor premiership who would get the A. At this stage, we're not quite sure who that is yet. But for me, like I said, Campbelltown and Modbury would be on par with each other, be it A or B. But
David.
A- or a B+.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so sounds like a B. I've been overruled here. Adelaide Comets. The thing is, right?
I think we've got Raiders too high now.
Yeah, I think Campbelltown is too low now because I want to give Comets a B.
Yeah. Yeah, because Comets need to go between Campbelltown and Raiders, but you haven't got an option to put anybody between Campbelltown and Raiders. You've only got 6 spots.
And that's plenty, but I had to be overruled.
I mean, you could put like I said, Campbelltown, Modbury. You'd put them. That's what I said. You'd put them in the A or B, but they'd be on the same. Whatever one you give one, you've got to give the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Right, maybe Campbelltown do need to go up to A then to allow space for teams that are in between Campbelltown and Raiders.
So we're going Comets B grade.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to see I won out in the end. Croydon.
Are we not just
we're
basically we're just basically restructuring their league positions just now? Right?
I was going to say
No,
you
no,
pretty
no,
much
no,
at the moment.
no.
Yeah, that's all we're doing at the moment.
No, not at all. Well, Raiders is above City at the moment, so absolutely not. No.
Okay.
Croydon was predicted by some journalists to finish second in the league, but didn't in the end. What happened there, guys?
Well, that was
Croydon,
Johnny. So
probably on.
Johnny's got a soft spot for Croydon.
I think it's a D or an E.
Yeah, I mean they would have gone into the season wanting finals. Well, I mean all the teams do, but realistically, you've got to look at it and go, well, there's only really probably 2 spots up for grabs in finals outside your sort of top 4.
Yeah.
So they would have been playing that. They're a mid-table side this year. It shows. Don't think they haven't certainly. They've done sort of exactly where I expected them. I think I had them somewhere around that 7, 8, 9 spot. So I'd say somewhere around a D or an E.
David?
Yeah. D.
D. All right, I'll go with D as well.
Because I don't think
next.
they've been quite on the same level as Olympic. So
Yeah. Fair. FK Beergrad.
D.
Yeah, I would have said D or a C.
I think the fact that they've had a new coach come in Adrian, having to implement his style of football, and I think he's allowed for some stability. I think that would sort of push me towards a C. So I could quite easily go either a C or a D with FKB grad.
I'd put them up at C because I think they're equal with Raiders, better than Croydon and Adelaide City's inconsistencies or phases. So C.
I'll go C as well. So we'll put them in C next to their fierce rivals. Next is Modbury Jets. I think
That's an A for me.
absolutely
Yeah, I agree.
easy.
I think that's our first one we've all just gone 3 straight across.
Yeah, absolutely. Metro B for me.
Yeah, haven't been quite as exciting this year as last year. They've kind of stumbled a little bit, haven't they? They would be an A based on what they did last year, but they haven't quite matched that this year. So a B for me too, I think. Yeah,
I think just the fact that that last year was such a good year. It was so attacking. It was lots of goals, and are just not hitting quite those heights. I mean, they've drawn 7 games this year alone, so yeah, a little bit inconsistent at times.
South Adelaide. I think it has to be F.
It's an F.
I think it has to be F. But
is there F
I think
lower than F, or is F as low as 15?
I mean, I
Sorry,
did say to be
Adley.
harsh. I did say to be harsh, so fair enough. Final
Yeah,
two.
look.
Oh no, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Mark.
can't. I was just going to say, unfortunately, you get relegated. It's a fail. I mean, it was this. They were in the NPL last year, so it wasn't like they've just come up and then gone straight back down. So, it's unfortunate. It's an F.
Para Hills Knights. I would put them at D because they have played entertaining football and produced some very entertaining games, although probably haven't gotten the results.
That's a fair comment, yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't. I don't see them as. I don't see them as high as Adelaide City and Croydon, though.
No, I would have gone an E just for the fact is that yes, they've played some entertaining games, but South Adelaide played some entertaining games. Olympic have played some entertaining games, but they're still sitting. We all know that they were going to be fighting. We all thought they were going to finish in the bottom two. We knew it was going to be a tough season for them, losing their top goal scorer from last year. So for me, it's not quite an F yet in the fact that they've still got a chance to stay up, and I put them in the same boat as Olympic. If they go down, then
even if they go down, I still wouldn't put them or Olympic as an F.
Well, look, I mean,
purely for the fact I think Para Hills they've provided. I haven't been as thoroughly entertained by Olympic as I have been by Para Hills this season, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, but you didn't watch the Campbelltown game on the weekend, and that's just me being brutally honest. But look, but like I said, these for any of the clubs that are in that relegation battle, if they go down, they haven't achieved what they wanted to achieve, which is to stay in the league. Yeah. So for me, like to me, it's brutally honest. That's a fail. If they haven't stayed up, which is their ultimate goal, that's a fail. Like I said, at this stage, for me, it's an E. It's just in the fact that they might stay up, they might go down, but they've done. I wouldn't put them in an F just yet because, like I said, there's other mitigating circumstances. Like they lost their key strike. They lost Riley Stam this year. Who, again, if he was playing in that team, who knows what could have happened? He might have banged goals in for fun, stayed fit, and all that sort of stuff, and not have to try and jump into a new team and understand how the whole professional football side of things works. Could have changed. It could have been a different season for Para Hills Knights.
Okay. E. Finally, Adelaide United. Probably a C.
Entertaining games.
Yeah.
Some very entertaining games.
They provided, I reckon, two games of the year. Maybe even 3.
Oh, exactly. Look, I expected them to do higher, but again, when we do preseason, when we do our predictions, we're never sure of what Adelaide United is going to be with because of their rotation and things like that. Yeah. They've produced some cracking players that have moved into the A-League side. Entertaining football. So for me, I'd say I'd probably agree with you, Seb. It's probably somewhere around a C for me as well.
David?
Yeah, I'd agree. I know I haven't contributed much to this one or the last two, but I haven't needed to. I think you guys have covered it well, and I would see Adelaide United as a C. I did a couple of their games early on in the season, but I haven't done one of their games for quite a while. But I guess they do struggle with that inconsistency. Well, who's available?
You will be this weekend.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually a wee bit worried about it because I find it hard to commentate them because they're all kids the same age. They all look very similar. You know, there's no big tall guy who stands out. No old guy that stands out. No, do you know what I mean? It's the same when you do NTC, I find. But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think I see them as a C.
All right. Any final disagreements before I go off and post this and see what the public think? Or are you pretty happy with?
Pretty. Yeah.
David?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Looks good.
Very well.
I think it's
very well.
I think it's a fair reflection on us collectively and what we think.
Absolutely. Well, very, very fun. Before we finish, anything else that anybody else would like to add?
Just the usual. shout out to TJ Goalkeeping Australia for sponsoring our Goalkeeper of the Year award, which we will probably announce that next week's show, I reckon.
Yep.
So we'll announce that in next week's show. So any goalkeeping requirements, please reach out to myself, or if you know Tassie, reach out to Tassie, and he will be able to help you out for glove needs, goalkeeper needs. And huge shout out, thank you for sponsoring us for the season. It's been great to have a sponsor, and if there are any other people that want to jump on and sponsor us next season, if we continue, which hopefully will be the plan, then yeah, reach out and we'll see what we can do.
I'm not planning on stopping.
Well, neither am I, but you never know.
We're going ahead then. season 2.
Even if it's just me and you, Seb.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the two of you.
David, you on board?
Yeah, I should be right.
And if we can find Alessio from the car park or wherever he is, you're right.
Wherever the hell he is. David, anything to add? Will we do our player of the season? I guess of regular. Will we not include, because we can probably do player of the season next week as well then too.
Well, I was thinking, yeah, if we've got a player of the season, we'll cover that, goalkeeper of the season, and then obviously we'll do a player. I think if we'll just announce,
we'll make it like a mini awards night, our own like mini awards night. We'll have like we can do game of the year.
We should get the public to vote on commentator of the year.
Oh, there you go. Media personality of the year.
Yeah. I'd like to think I could finish in the top 4 of that one.
And it's not just from this podcast, is it? Are we talking the whole thing?
No, I was thinking just this podcast, but yeah, we could open it right up. But can you imagine if it was just this podcast and you finished 5th? Oh.
Well, that's all from us for this week. A very, very exciting weekend ahead. I'm sure we're all very excited, looking forward to getting around the place.
Seb, just who's covering what game? Let the viewers know who's covering what game.
All MPL games are covered. There is people everywhere. Connie's at City. David, you're at Croatia. Johnny's at Beergrad. Lesio's up at Campbelltown. I'm at Service FM for Comets, Metro, and Mark, you're down south for the big.
I'm down south on the South Paras.
I don't know why I did that for South.
It's all good.
I'd say that's an American South thing more than. Well, yours would be like surfing and stuff, no?
Yeah,
all
exactly.
those beaches and stuff.
Seaford used to be called the Seaford Surfers at one stage.
South Adelaide Para Hills Knights, man. And then State League 1, Burkalla Vipers got Connie. David, you're at West Adelaide Victory. I'm at Salisbury versus Fulham, finally hopping on the train down there. Johnny's at Western Strikers Playford. And Adelaide Cobras and Sturt Lions is with Alessio, if he makes it there. And I mean that in 2 ways, whether or not he makes it back from wherever he is, and hopefully makes it in time from his game.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
But all very much looking forward to this weekend. Hope everyone enjoys it. Make sure to follow on Facebook and all the social platforms, Instagram, YouTube, all those different ones. Make sure to like and share. And I will see you boys next week, and I'll see everyone who's watching next week after what we've had a hopefully very, very entertaining and exciting round.
Cool. Is this where we say goodbye?
Yep.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Au revoir.
I just hit top bins. 1-2 touch, yeah, we're locked in. I got the skills to make the girls sing, and the geezers too, yeah, we're doing this thing.